So, I don't know where Frank ran off to, but Bob, I'll give you a technique. How long have you been in sales?
Well, we had our own construction company for about 25 years, and we dealt with city, county, state government agencies, and basically did our own sales
How long have you been doing water?
since 2016.
Okay, so I'll share with you a technique that is it's a little bit difficult to wrap your arms around, but if you apply a little common sense to this, it applies to almost every single aspect in life, and we've touched on this before. And it's all about when a force that is greater than you is coming at you, right? You have to do something to do what? To
Remove it.
either you have to get out of its way, or you have to find a way to reverse the impact that it has. So in this case, when somebody says, "Yeah, I'm really not interested," what do you see in your mind when somebody says that?
Well, walking into the house in this particular situation, it was pretty difficult for me to find a place to put my stuff. I mean, the house was very unsanitary. And in my mind, I've just come to this guy's just he's gotten used to living in some pretty shitty conditions. They had dogs, the house stunk. They basically had to take the dirty dishes out of the sink so that I could get at the sink and, get a bowl in there so that we could run our miniature system.
So I get the picture because I've sold hundreds of these people water systems. So let's focus on something. How did you feel when that happened? What's your true inner feelings?
When he walked out of the room,
No, when you walked into the house and it was disgusting and it was filthy and you were judgmental and disgusted and repulsed and already negative, what effect do you think that had on them?
I don't know.
We don't know what effect. No. We don't know what effect it had on them, but I'm going to guess that it had an effect. And it's because we judge people, and that changes our energy. And then you end up with a symptom that you look at as a disease. I'm not interested is not the disease. What's the disease? The disease was whatever you said, whatever approach you took. That's what creates the symptom of I'm not interested. And then what happens is when somebody says, I'm not interested, you attack that as the disease and try to overcome I'm not interested. It's not the way this works.
I have sold people like that before. And, when I run into that kind of a home, I just try to put my feelings aside. I mean,
the try is the big key here, because if you try in your brain, but in your heart, you have incoherence, then you have mind, body out of balance, and it sends out a different energy wave into the room. And you can take that for what it is, but it works in every aspect of your life. If you go around and you tell people that you're happy, but internally you're miserable, that mind-body incoherence is what causes dis-ease or disease. And I get all of this from Dr. Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Most fascinating thing I've ever read in my life. Just mind blowing. I think I've mentioned that to you before. Breaking the Habit of Being
I've got
Yourself.
it. I've got it here, and
You should listen to it.
I'm trying
Just
to figure
in general.
out. I'm not very techy, so I'm trying to figure out how to download it.
Do you have audible.com? Do you have an Audible app? You got to go to
no.
Amazon, go to, what phone are you using?
I got the iPhone.
Okay, so go to the App Store, download Audible, audible.com, get an account. You get one free book a month, and while you're driving those 2 hours every day, back and forth or whatever you drive, you should be going to university and listening to either my calls or some of these other stuff far better than me, is listen to some of these life-changing things and use your driving time as your education time.
Okay, so it's Audible.
audible.com.
And then it comes up Audible. Audio books.
Yeah, so you download that app. Then you go, do you have an Amazon Prime account?
I believe we do.
So if you get an Amazon Prime account, then you can load into your Amazon Prime account, and you can just buy these books, and it'll use your Audible credit, and it'll say download to Audible Library, and you just open it up, and you'll have a Frank, you certainly know how to do this, don't you?
Yeah, I think I could figure it out.
Okay. So then it just shows up right on your screen, and you just hit the button, and it's super simple.
It just takes up.
Icon look like?
So once you have the app, if you log into your Prime account, it'll download the book right to your app, and then you just go to your library and hit play.
Okay.
Do you have grandkids?
Yeah, but none of them live around here.
I was going to say they all know how to do this. Any 5-year-old knows how to do this. So
yeah. I'll get it figured out.
Yeah, I mean these kids, they're born with a different gene, and they've adapted, and they know how to do this. But I would not let that be an obstacle. Google, Audible's got help guides. All right, so let's go back to what I was getting at the top of the call. So the first thing we have to change is how we feel about things, right? You got to have a motive to break the habit of being yourself. And then you know, something that I've been working on all these calls is that I see a lack of passion from salespeople as why somebody should have good water. So I'm going to tell you that when this guy said, I'm not interested, I see that as a freight train, and I'm standing on the tracks, and I see I'm not interested. I got to get out of the way. So I can't just get in front of the train and go stop. I have to find a way to stop the train or just get out of the way. I prefer to get out of the way. So when somebody tells me in that situation, I'm not interested, and then I'm going to tell you where that came from. When he says, I'm not interested, I just go, fantastic. That'll save me a bunch of trouble. I certainly thought the second time I was coming out here, I was going to have to go to the trouble to write a contract, and we'd have to drive all the way out here to install it all for you to have a better life and enjoy your water and to save a bunch of money. So thank you. I greatly appreciate that. And I know I was a little boring today, and I don't think I've given anybody the reason to be interested here tonight. Well, I've been here 6 years. Yep. Yeah, that's what most of my customers tell me. This isn't about the water hurting you. It's not about the water going to kill you. Everything's going to kill us. COVID's killing us. Everything's going to kill us. So the question is, why does anybody do this? And I'll tell you why. Can I tell you why, Bob? Because
sure.
It's absolutely freaking amazing. And if you had one, believe it or not, you'd absolutely love it. Bob, I'm going to tell you is, if you had one, you would absolutely love it. It has nothing to do with saving your life, making it healthy, or nothing. Zero. It has to do with the fact that right now your water doesn't work very well, and it's costing you a bloody fortune. And I'm not asking you to buy anything. I'm asking you to maneuver your budget. I'm asking you to take your money that you're spending anyway at the store, buying detergents and chemicals, and just, I'm going to give you a free softener. I'm going to give you a free system, and you just buy your soap for me. What do you care where your wife buys the soap as long as your clothes come out clean? And you don't even look like you care about that.
That, you hit the nail on the head there.
But you do shower occasionally, don't you, Bob?
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Would you knowingly put a teaspoon of Tide on your pillowcase and rub it into your pillow and then sleep on it?
No.
Because I'll go get some Tide right now. I just want you to take it and rub it in your face. And I've had guys like you twice your size do it. So if that's what you're willing to do, I'll leave. Just rub Tide right into your hair and I'll leave. I'll tell you what, I'll get a glass of water. I'll put a drop of Clorox bleach in it. You want to drink it? This isn't about her being healthy. It's a matter of just having better water because it's fun. It's great. You'd love it. Shaving's nicer. Razor blades last longer. Your clothes last longer. Your water heater doesn't wear out near as fast. Your ice maker lasts longer. It's easier to clean. Some people do it just so they can say they have good water and they're not like, oh yeah, we just open the tap and drink that crap. I have people buy these just for the privilege of bragging to their friends that they have better water. I don't care, whatever floats your boat, Bob, get one. Because if you did, you would love it. I've closed more people with that kind of statement and that kind of attitude. And the reason that works is because they can see I don't give a damn. They can see that when they say they're not interested, I just got out of the way and you just went by me at 200 miles an hour, didn't even know you'd passed. And now you're on a loop and you're coming around for another one. And it's just like, do it all day until you run out of energy because you're never going to wear me out because all I'm doing is stepping aside. Or you can come back and, oh, you're one of those guys. All right, let's hear it. You're not interested. You've had this water. It hadn't killed you yet. Why do I need one? Must be a reason I drove 2 hours to get here after you've seen this twice. Maybe a third time I'll come back. Let's schedule this in 4 years. I know that this kind of attitude is going to be a challenge for you guys. And you don't need to do this way. I'm just trying to demonstrate to you that there is a better technique and you can use your own personality in your own way. But to me, when I hear that, instead of going, ah, shit, I don't have a deal, I go, oh, great, this is going to be fun. That kind of guy, instead of getting frustrated, I get fascinated. I take them apart and put them back together again, and they don't even know they were touched. Now, all of that is a unique skill set that I know is hard to replicate, but what I do know is that you can control what's between your ears. And if you control your emotions and you don't let that get you down and you just see that train and go, oh yeah, this is it, and you step out of the way, you can do that. I know that I'm not going to engage a train and try to put my hand up and go stop, which is what you did. When you say, hey, I'm not interested. Oh, so you're not interested in good water? You're not getting out of the way. You're just putting your hand up and you're getting run over by the train. Can you see that?
Yeah.
And that's how most salespeople handle sales. When they get resistance, they fail. And that's how it works. And it's just a matter of understanding that your job is to affect people and not to be affected by them. And to the degree that you accomplish that, that's how much money you make. And I'm not telling you you can close everybody, but what I am telling you is when you leave that guy's house, and it was probably a long drive, it didn't energize you, it didn't get you excited to go to the next house, it may not have phased you. You seem like a pretty even-keeled guy, which is good. But the question would be, take a shot, right? How do I take my best shot? And when somebody says, I'm not interested, even the 80-year-old guy, The question is he may have had you out there for only to watch and listen, but the question is did he have the money to buy good water? And if he did, we could have sold him a system. And, you know, did you ask him my favorite question? Hey, if this were free, would you want one? And the follow-up question to that is, why? Why would you even want one? Now, there's a technique you can use. You can just, hey, can I ask you a question? If I just told you I was going to improve your water, save you money on soap, give you better drinking water, better tasting coffee and teas and juices, you wouldn't have to scrub the bathtub near as often. The soap comes off your skin. You don't have Tide in your pillowcase, in your sheets, in your underwear, because it didn't rinse out. If all that, and I just said, boom, you're going to wake up in the morning and the water fairy came and boom, you have a water treatment system and life is great. Would you want it? Or would you tell me to take it out? Would you want it? And then the follow-up is, why? Why would you even want one, Bob? Why would you even go to the trouble? Why would you want one? If they say, you know what, I wouldn't take it if it were free, then you know you're done. You know you might as well leave the house. But most people go, yeah, if it was free, then you put them on the spot. So you just ask, can I ask you a question? If this were free, when would you want it put in? If you just woke up tomorrow morning and it was in, would you ask me to take it out? You take that first shower and you're going, holy cow, this is amazing. Would you call me and tell me to take it out? No. So why would you want one? So you could get people and re-spark that interest. And that's a technique that's fairly easy to use. Let me ask you this, if it were free, would you want one? They say yes. Why? And I always like to give them multiple choice questions instead of fill in the blanks, because fill in the blanks sometimes give you a blank stare. So multiple choice questions are what, Bob? What would those questions be?
I guess I'm not sure.
Frank, what would those questions be?
Why? It would be, is it because you want softer skin? Is it because you are tired of the chemicals? Or is it because you're not going to sleep with Tide on your pillowcase? I guess that would be my multiple choice questions. Why would you want it?
Those are the right questions, right? And so how you combine these, Bob, is you just go, let me ask you a question. If this were free and you woke up in the morning and you took your first shower, what would you be most excited about? Would it be knowing that you got the soap off your skin for the first time? Would it be the luxurious feeling of not having your skin dry and tight? Would it be when you were shaving, you noticed how the blade just glided over your face? Would it be how your shampoo just exploded in your hands and 100% of it was used and you realized at $50 a bottle, you're saving some money? You can cut back 80% on the amount of detergent you put into the wash machine. Would it be the fact that you don't have Tide in your clothes, in your towels, in your sheets, and your pillowcase, and your underwear? Would it just be knowing that for once you were actually protected from the raw tap water that comes into the pipes through the aging infrastructure? So many reasons to love good water. What would you be most excited about, Bob?
I've had soft water so long I can't even imagine not having it.
Well, why don't you turn it off for a day?
No way.
No, I'm serious. Like, why don't you turn it off for a day? So what do you love about your system? What do you love about having good water in your house? We need to lose the word water softener. Aren't you guys selling a mixed bed mineral that has the the KDF in it that removes chlorine or not?
Yes.
Sell a conditioner.
Yeah, so you're selling a water refiner, a water conditioner. We should not use the word water softener. A complete state-of-the-art water treatment system. Do you sell the RO with the conditioner?
Yes, sir.
So So how do you describe that equipment?
Whole home water treatment.
So here's something to write down. You guys are Hague, right?
Yes, sir.
So Hague makes a complete state-of-the-art water treatment system. It's designed and engineered to replace old-fashioned water softeners. So Hague makes a complete state-of-the-art water treatment system. Hague makes a complete state-of-the-art water treatment system. Hague makes a complete state-of-the-art water treatment system that's designed and engineered to replace old-fashioned water softeners. That's designed and engineered to replace old-fashioned water softeners. Did you get all that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Read it back to me. What does Hague make? What do you sell?
A complete state-of-the-art water treatment system that is designed and engineered to replace old-fashioned water softeners.
It's an extraordinary appliance. Now, what does that do for you? Well, it eliminates people from going, I'm not interested. I don't need a water softener. What you're selling is a replacement to a water softener. What you're selling is an appliance. What else do people have in their homes that are called appliances?
Fridge, dishwasher, stove,
Air conditioner.
air conditioner.
So when you're not happy
Laundry
with
equipment.
when you're not happy with the temperature or the condition of your air, what do?
Call a serviceman.
No, when you're not happy in your house, you walk in and it's hot. It's 80 degrees in your house.
Turn the air conditioner on.
Oh, you turn on an air conditioner? Oh, so if you found out you weren't happy about your water, what would you do? We have an appliance. Two important things in your life, air and water. When your air is not the temperature, you turn on the conditioner. Guess what? When people realize how bad the water is, they turn on a water conditioner. This is an appliance for your home. A lot of people go, oh, we don't need this. Well, you know what? We didn't need microwaves. We didn't need DVRs. We didn't need refrigerators. We didn't need electric ovens. I mean, these are all new things. Even water heaters at some point, garbage disposals were all appliances that not everybody had. A lot of people didn't even know what they didn't need. Who would buy a box that you could put in, heat up your food super fast? But most people would rather have that than an oven. Frank and Bob, you certainly remember when there was no air conditioners, right?
Oh yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
do. I didn't have one until I was 9 years old, and then it was a window air conditioner. And then we moved out to the suburbs and we got wall-to-wall carpet and central air. See, this is no different, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. This is the same thing. It's an appliance. This is a state-of-the-art appliance. Everybody's heard of old-fashioned water softeners. A lot of people have mixed opinions on them. But what we have is what, Bob? What do you sell?
We sell a complete state-of-the-art water treatment system designed and engineered to replace old-fashioned water softeners.
Now, what does that do for you? Well, it starts paving the path. It starts removing obstacles. And that's how you should call your system. You should never refer to this as a water softener and a drinking water system. It's not. It's one system. Now, here's what the first part of the system does. See, it's a complete state-of-the-art system. What's the first part of the system do? Well, it gives you ideal water for bathing and cleaning. Write that down. This is a complete state-of-the-art water treatment system that is designed and engineered to replace old-fashioned water softeners. Next, the first part of the system provides you with ideal water for bathing and cleaning. The first part of the system provides you with ideal water for bathing and cleaning. The first part of the system provides you with ideal water for bathing and cleaning. Second part of the system gives you ideal water for drinking and cooking. It's a complete state-of-the-art water treatment system. It's an extraordinary appliance. It's designed and engineered to replace the old-fashioned water softeners. The first part of the system gives you ideal water for bathing and cleaning. And the second part of the system gives you ideal water for drinking and cooking. So we sell a complete state-of-the-art water treatment system designed and engineered to replace an old-fashioned water softener. It's an incredible appliance that everybody that sees it's like, wow, this is better than the microwave. I might enjoy this more than my air conditioner. The impact this has on your life is right up there with your air conditioner. The only good news is it's actually less expensive to have a water treatment system than to do it the way you've been doing it. What do you mean? Well, you guys are probably renting from the world's largest water softening company. It's not even renting, it's just an ongoing fee that you'll never stop paying, and that's buying Cascade and Tide. See, not everybody cares about their health. So when we go into homes and try to preach health, you're preaching to the wrong people mostly. Say 10% of the population actually cares about their health. They care when they're unhealthy. They go to the doctor to overcome a problem. They don't do anything preventative. And going into somebody's house in the day and age of COVID and telling them that they shouldn't drink the water is nonsensical. Because I'm going to tell you, anybody in today's world that is concerned about their water has found an alternative to tap crap. The reason people still drink tap crap is because they don't care, they're unaware, they don't want to spend the money, and it's not even on their top 5 things they're concerned about. When 70% of the planet is obese, and you got people smoking and drinking and doing opioids and then dying of COVID, their water isn't even on their list. I've been drinking this water 20 years and it hadn't hurt me. And I always like to go, well, I agree with that. Just add one word to that, yet, and underline the word yet. Now, here's some ways you can overcome that. Yeah, most people that care about their water, they've already called us. We're seriously looking for people that have no concerns about their water. You know what's cool? Everything's killing us now, right? Here's what's really good about water. If you stop smoking or drinking or eating fried foods or whatever is supposed to be bad for us, you know, every day there's something new that's bad for us, right? Has anybody ever called either one of you and said, I miss the chlorine in my water? I miss knowing that there's 152 different pesticides in my water? Has anybody ever called you and told you that they missed having soap scum in their bathtub? That they missed Tide in their towels? Yeah, nobody misses bad water. This is the one thing you can do for yourself that there's no pain. You want to lose weight? Painful. Want to go to the gym? Can be painful. Want to eat better? Cut out carbs. Painful. Cut out fried foods. Awful. Cut out sugar. Ugh, terrible. Nobody misses bad water. So if you can have something better and it costs less, you can see why everybody does this. 99% of the homes I go into, people have no interest. If they did, they just call and buy one. We're looking for people that aren't interested. If everybody was interested, I wouldn't need to pay you. We'd just answer the phone. Right? Joel would just fire everybody. Hello, yep, this is Joel. Okay, we'll be out there. Boom, give me your credit card. This is Joel. Click. What does he need you to for? We're looking for people that aren't interested. Our job is to make them interested. So we have to start with more powerful language. We don't ever call this a water softener. This is what, Frank? What do you sell?
A state-of-the-art whole home treatment system that's designed and engineered to replace old-fashioned water softeners.
Bob, what do you sell?
I sell complete state-of-the-art water treatment systems designed and engineered to replace old-fashioned water softeners.
Sounds way better than a water softener, doesn't it?
It is way
And the
better than
idea of
water
calling
softener.
this an appliance, that's the number one thing I see is people don't refer to this as an appliance. And then people think it's like a gimmick. So you got to make people think. You got to make them think differently. You got to make people think differently. That's your job. And for that to happen, you have to think differently. And you have to ramp up that message. And you have to ramp up that passion. And then you can become unstoppable. Instead of driving out to houses and closing 40 or 50% of the time, you start closing 8 to 9 times out of 10, 90% of the time. If you want to close 90% of the time, then you have to stop being yourself and you have to find a new level. And you can't say, well, that's just not me. Well, you're all capable of this. I can get the guy on the planet excited. I just take him out to a lake and I hold his head underwater for a couple of minutes. And he'll start doing what? Thrashing and fighting for his life. I'm asking you guys to start fighting for your lives. You got to break the habit. You got to stop saying, well, that's not me. I see myself as this laid back, nice person, and being outrageous is not in my DNA. Well, what if you knew you could make an extra $100,000 this year? What if I was giving you money to be in a commercial and I said, well, this isn't going to work. You're boring. So Bob, you got $100,000. You got to go out and you got to do a commercial, but you got to do it with passion. You got to do it with enthusiasm. You got to go out and I'll pay you $250,000 a year to be an Applied Water spokesperson. Everywhere you go, you got to be that messenger. You got to go share and be the ambassador of good water. And you get paid $250,000 a year. You got 4 weeks to get trained up and do this. Would you change your personality? Would you study hard? Would you listen to stuff? Would you just stop being yourself and go out and create money? See, you got the product, you got the customers, you got the support, you got financing, you got installation. All you're missing is yourself. And we look at this in this little world and we go, yeah, it's all right. I'm making 50, 60,000 a year selling water conditioners on a good year. And yeah, that's fine. I know people making 400,000 a year selling water softeners. I know people in Hague making that kind of money. It comes down to this. Look differently at the job. Think differently about this and go, okay, what if Joel ran an ad and it said $250,000 a year for an Applied Water spokesperson? We'll pay $250,000 a year for you to be an Applied Water spokesperson. And what do? Well, you go out. You just got a deal, Frank? Did he agree to do this?
With Joel, yeah. He
Yeah.
shook my hand and everything.
Yeah.
Well, but think about this. What if you went out, Bob, and you were told, I just got a job with Applied Water. It's the coolest job ever. I am a one-on-one brand ambassador. This guy over at Applied Water loves his product so much that he pays people to go into somebody's home and be a brand ambassador. He pays $20,000 a month. He sends me out to the house. He gives me an address. All I got to do is go out, and he's such a good guy. He even scripted us. I just have to be a little energetic. I have to work a little bit hard. I got to have some product knowledge because I'm a brand ambassador. People volunteer and do this shit at an art gallery, right? And they go around and tell you about Monet and this guy, or they go to the park and they walk you through here. Joel will pay you $20,000 a month to be a brand ambassador, but you can't be boring. Bob, would they put you on TV? You think you could be on TV as an enthusiastic brand ambassador? Do you think anybody would pay you? No.
For $20,000 a month, I think I could make that happen.
Well, how would you do that, sir? Because I got to tell you, you got $20,000 a month. You can do it right now doing what you're doing. You're just going to have to do it a hell of a lot better. You just can't be boring. You can't lack emotion. You can't lack passion and just get away with it and say, by God, that's me. Because you're passing up an opportunity to earn $20,000 a month. You can't just be yourself and then expect to be paid a lot more than you've ever earned by being yourself. Not in this job. You're a brand ambassador. We don't care if the house is dirty. We don't care if the guy's 80 years old. Joel doesn't give a shit. He's paying you to go out to a home every single time, regardless of what they say, short of physically harming you. He's paying you to go to that house and tell people why they need good water. You almost need to be like the evangelist out on the streets with the megaphone screaming about God. You need to be on a mission from God and go out into people's homes with the vigor that you have an opportunity to change and improve their lives forever. If you were running a church, Bob, how many people would be in that church? The way you do your preaching and sermons, zero. Maybe your wife, maybe somebody you know, but you can't even convince your kids to have good water. So I'm going to tell you, you're not going to have a very successful church. So maybe you don't want to hear this, but maybe this will be the greatest message ever given to you. You have an opportunity to earn $20,000 a month by going out and preaching like you mean it. You go out into every demo. What if I told you the next people you see, you're going to get a check for $20,000 seeing one family? Now, here's the deal. The house is going to be disgusting. The people are going to be rude. The kids are going to be screaming. They're going to tell you they're not interested. But they've already bought a system. As long as you do a good job, you make $20,000. It's like a game show. I could see them doing this on a game show. Sales Fear Factor. And you have to go into the most intimidating experience ever. And you know you're going to win, but you cannot let them get you down. How would your attitude be when you walked into a messy house? Instead of being disgusted, you'd be laughing. You'd be going, oh God, they really went out of their way on this one. Holy cow, this is hilarious. I'm not interested. Oh, I love this guy. This is fantastic. I'm not interested. Who are you kidding? You already wrote the check. You're not interested. How would you change yourself, Bob, to adapt to that? See, we experience life with our senses. What you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you can see, what you can feel. We're in a tactile environment. Everything we know, you experience because of your senses. But what if you just experienced everything in your mind? You know, in all reality, that's how we live life in our minds, but we walk around unconscious. And so what if you experienced life and it was just between your ears and you started seeing yourself as this human dynamo, as this amazing guy? What if you could see yourself that way? And then you became that guy and you walked into the house on fire. You walked into the house and you didn't care what it looked like. You didn't care how far you had driven, because you have the greatest job in the world. You get to go out and tell people about a complete state-of-the-art water treatment system that's designed and engineered to replace old-fashioned water softeners. You will love this. This will be the greatest thing you've ever done. Well, we're not buying anything. Fantastic. That'll make my life a lot easier. See, I'm a brand ambassador. I get paid as long as my performance is amazing. So just step back and watch me, because I'm going to be on fire. I know you're not buying anything. I could care less. I know you're not interested. Better yet, because I don't get paid to write up paperwork. It's a pain in my ass. And those guys have to come out and install a water system. The guys at Hague have to make it. Right now, trucks are short. Systems are short. I don't even know if I can get you one. But the guy that owns the company is so passionate about good water, he pays me. I make $20,000 a month, and all I got to do is get through this presentation. So sit down and let's go. Now, what do you think's going to happen? Now you're the freight train. Now they got to get out of your way. See, that's the difference. That's how you make money in life. That's how you have everything you want. That's how you reach any goal you want. And money isn't everything. Believe me, I know that. But it beats the hell out of being poor. And it beats the hell out of not being able to help people. This will become the funnest job in the world. You just have to stop being yourself. You have to stop defining yourself and seeing yourself as a laid-back guy that doesn't have any passion. Because I can get you passion. I can turn the least enthusiastic human being into an enthusiastic person by holding your head under the water. You're going to be thrashing around. Just imagine that you need to start thrashing. And the question is why can't you do this? Well, it's because you think it would be undignified. You think it's against your character. But then weigh the motive. What if you knew this is how you were going to get rich? What if you knew this could change your life? How would your life change, Bob, if you were making $20,000 a month?
I'd probably be in Arizona right now.
Well, if you don't get to Arizona soon, when the hell are you going? So if you want to get to Arizona, then maybe you should have a plan, right? Maybe you should have a strategy on how you're going to get there beyond getting in your car and driving. Maybe you just need a strategy. And that strategy is to implement what I'm telling you, is to create that passion within you, is to break the habit of being yourself. See, the reason people aren't very good with technology is because they tell themselves they're not very good with technology. It's not because your brain doesn't work, because I can show you almost every 5-year-old on the planet knows how to use an iPhone. Well, not on the planet, but in the rich white suburbs where I live. They all know how to use them. They all know how to use 5-year-olds, get on to Hulu and Netflix, and they all do it. They have no fear. Your only problem is you fear your iPhone. You're not going to hurt it. Your problem is you say you can't do it, so you can't. Get on YouTube. Google how to download Audible on YouTube. Somebody will walk you through it. Everything you ever wanted to know is on the internet. Might not all be true, but it's there. So stop making excuses. Stop limiting your success and start going, yeah, I want to go to Arizona. I want to go live in Arizona. I'm tired of this cold winters. You can do anything you want to do. Start your life as a blank canvas and design the next phase of your life. If you live in the past and you let the past define you, then you know what your future is going to be. So the question is, how do you get better? How do you change the habit of being yourself? How do you go in and reframe what you've been doing? And the real question is, why would I do that? What's your motive, Bob, to take action? I give you the tools. How many of these calls have you listened back to, honestly? 0. So the question is why? What do you do when you drive? How many hours a week do you drive?
Well, I suppose 7,
20?
8,
How many?
7, 8.
7, 8 hours. And what do you listen to when you're driving?
A lot of times I don't listen to anything.
Okay, well, that's better than listening to the radio. And the question is do you know how to download these calls and listen back to them? I'm going to guess no.
No.
So we need to get that trained. We need to figure this out so that you can download these calls, which on your iPhone, if you don't want to watch the visual part of this, download the MP3 portion of the call. It ends in .mp3, and you should be able to listen to just the recorded sound without worrying about seeing the picture, because the picture helps me connect with you, but it's not going to help you in the training process. And then you could listen to this and make a plan on how you're going to do this.
Is that in the back office, Harry?
No, I send the calls out to you guys.
Through email?
Well, I send it to Joel every week.
Yeah, I got some.
So I have the links, and then you just click on the links. So I send you the call every week. I send them out to Joel and Nancy every week.
Joel must be slacking.
Well, I mean, there's only so much I can do. So, yeah, these.
Yeah, I don't see the emails. I just
okay. Well,
do,
and that's on me then, because Joel hasn't sent them.
Well, that would be on me then.
Yeah. So part of the problem. So doing these calls.
You mean all of the problems aren't on me?
No, Joel, and I don't want you to feel that way. I only say this to help you.
I know.
There's nothing in this for me. I do these calls for you're going to profit way more than I do.
I understand.
It's just when you don't get the calls and it's hard to take action, and then these calls just become entertainment or overwhelming or frustrating. It's I assumed you guys were getting the calls.
And I would appreciate having them, because I learn better when I hear it more than once. I mean,
Right,
repetition
me too. I'll
helps
listen
me
to the
learn.
same thing 4 or 5 times.
Yep.
And I do the same thing. So,
So how far back can we go? I mean,
we can go back. Hopefully Joel's got Joel, do you have the emails?
Yeah, he'll just have to go back and
Yeah,
find
I'll
it.
have to go back.
We'll just have to go back to the emails. I have them all archived. It's just a matter of going back and doing it. But the easier would be for Joel to find his emails and send them to you. There's probably 7 or 8 calls on there, and I record them all, and then I send you out a link, and you can just play them. But yeah, that's I didn't realize that was happening.
Harry, can you send them to me and I can forward them off to everybody?
Do I have your email, Frank?
I don't know. It's pretty simple. It's frank.appliedwater@gmail.
I'll get you the calls. frank.appliedwater@gmail.
Yes.
I'll go through and copy the links and send them to you. So
that would be easier than Joel having to go back through his emails, because he gets like 5 million a day. So
yeah. What have you learned today, Bob?
well, I need to step up my game. There's no question. I need to, I would really like to have these calls so that I can re-listen to them, because the more I'd listen to them, the more I can adapt.
I will get you all the calls.
Okay.
But what
I
have you
think the
learned
thing
today?
that I learned today, Harry, was passion. That we,
A reoccurring theme, right?
yeah, we don't seem to have the passion that we need for our product.
It's a reoccurring theme that seems to be prevalent, and it's kind of sad because we got the greatest product ever, and then we for whatever reason, I think we focus on the wrong things, and we just don't convey the message. And I think the number one secret to my sales success, and everyone I know that is successful at sales at a very high level, all have one thing in common. They're very enthusiastic and passionate. Passion, enthusiasm, it's what transfers and creates that emotion. Selling is an emotional experience. People purchase because they see more value in what they're buying than the value of their money. I don't care if you're buying a car, a house, a wife, a dog, whatever it is. Your perceived improvement in your life is got to outweigh your perceived value of your money. Some people don't care about money. As long as they can get credit, they'll buy anything. They don't care. Other people care more about money than they care about anything, so they won't buy anything. They just want to see the money in the bank. If you want to have somebody spend money, then you have to be passionate and give them the perception that what? That their money or their value that they're going to get from the water system is going to be more valuable than keeping their money. Now, with good water, what do we have to offer people? Well, they're paying for it anyway. So we're not really asking them for money. What are we doing? We're just showing them a different way to take care of their water. So if you walk into the house and you have no passion, and then you wonder why people say they're not interested, why do you suppose they're not interested?
Because you're not interested.
Because you're not interesting. You haven't given them anything to make them interested. If they were interested when you got out to the house, guess what? They'd probably already have good water. If every single person had a strong desire to have good water, it's like I told you, you wouldn't need to what? Have a job. You wouldn't get paid $20,000 a year to show up to somebody's house. How much do you make on a sale, Bob?
If it's a personal lead, I'd make 700. If it's a lead that comes out of the office, I make 650.
650. So let's say that if you're making 650 and it takes you 4 combined hours to sell a deal, that's about $137.50 an hour.
Correct.
And if you worked 40 hours a week at $137.50 an hour, that's $54.28 a week. Times 50, take a couple weeks off, guess how much money you're making? $250,000 a year. So what's the secret to making $250,000 a year? Okay, so let's say you average 650 a deal, and that means you have to sell how many water systems a year to make $200,000 at 650? I guess that's about 375, I think.
Yeah.
350. 350, 375. I may be off a little bit. So you have to sell, let's call it 350 deals. Now, I'm guessing that if you sold that many, you could probably get Joel to put in some kind of bonus incentive system that would let you make a little more, because if you weren't burning leads, it cost him a fortune to produce, he could pay you more. So maybe Joel could say, hey, if you do X amount, we'll give you a little bonus. Do you have any bonus system in there right now?
No.
Yeah, so we need a bonus in there. Joel, could you pay a little more if they sold a lot more?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we've done
Yeah,
bonus programs
so-
here. They're kind of incentive type things, but not ongoing.
Yeah, we need an ongoing incentive that right now is a moot point, and we need to get it because, see, when you sell more, Joel makes way more money incrementally when the overhead in the office is covered, and when the trucks are covered, and the insurance is covered, and the lead cost goes down per sale. Guess what? He could pay you more commission. A lot more commission, because that incremental profit becomes significant after you've covered your fixed overhead. But when you close 20 or 30%, it's hard to pay a lot of money because you spent more to get in that house and make the sale than you make on one system if you close 1 out of 10. Are you following me? So part of this is Joel's fault again, unfortunately, because we don't have the proper incentives, but I can tell you it'd be a moot point because you can have all the incentives in the world. You've got to find a way to get more passionate and get more ramped up. Okay? So I know this was maybe painful, but hopefully it was helpful. And you can just go and look in the mirror and go, who do I want to be? How much money do I want to make? If I keep doing the same thing I'm doing right now, how am I ever going to get to Arizona? If not now, when? So if you have a better opportunity where you don't have to change, you should go do that. But since you've been doing this 5 years, I'm assuming you're fairly happy with this opportunity. So all I'm trying to do is give you a pay raise. Do you want a pay raise, Bob?
Yep.
How bad?
Bad enough to work at it.
Do you? So what are you going to do when you get off this call?
Well, I'm going to figure out how to download that Audible, and I'm going to see if we can't get the past calls and just start.
I'm
Getting
going to
more-
get you the past calls. You'll have those in about
Yeah.
10 minutes. Okay. If you
Get,
can open
I just
your-
need to get, I need to get more passionate about what I'm doing.
So you're going to have to break the habit of being yourself. All right,
And I
guys.
need to
hope
get
this
that downloaded.
I hope this was a good call for you. I'm going to send you the copies. Okay.
Thanks,
Sounds
Aaron.
good.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you.